We, the Arcturians, would like to communicate with our grounded Earth crew about creating third-dimensional groups based on active, shared intentions. We are aware that this task is quite simple within a fifth-dimensional environment, but it can be very challenging within the environment of third- and fourth-dimensional Earth. First, we will begin with the word intention. We will begin by describing the manner in which an intention and light language are the same. Neither intention nor light language can be viewed by your physical perception. Both your intentions, as well as light language, can be only sensed with your higher fourth and fifth dimensional perceptions. In fact, both your intentions, as well as the intention of the One, are quite visible via your fifth dimensional perceptions. Let us take a moment of your time to explain the terms, your intentions, and the intentions of the One. We will begin by giving you third-dimensional definitions of intention, which are purpose, aim, intent, goal, objective, and/or plan. All of your planned intentions often stay within your thoughts and emotions for a very long time before they become manifest in your daily life. When you do not actively fulfill your own inner intentions, you may feel disappointed in yourself. Some of you may also judge yourself harshly for not filling the intentions that others have of you. Your reactions to the judgments of others will be very different depending on your inner conversation with yourself. You could be very disappointed in yourself and chastise yourself for not fulfilling your planned intentions. Or, you could decide that these intentions were not actually your intentions, but intentions that you have received, or adopted, from someone else. While in the third dimension, it is difficult enough to not fulfill the intentions you have set for yourself. Hence, to become upset that you have not fulfilled someone else's intention for you, will take you totally out of the driver's seat. Who is the boss of my life? You may find yourself asking this question, and mostly the answering of this question, is a very important component of your ascension process. We wish to highlight your ascension process, as no one can really copy or follow another person's ascension process. Living your ascension process means that you have placed yourself in the driver's seat. However, this driver's seat is a multidimensional seat, in which every expression of your multidimensional self must be consciously, and actively, at the wheel. It is helpful and wonderful to use your unity consciousness to follow, lead, and share your journey with others. In fact, sharing your intentions with others who are also wearing earth vessels, is very empowering. That is, it is empowering if you have similar intentions and similar amounts of energy that you are willing to put into your personal, and/or joint, intentions. If you have the same intention as others in your group, but the others are not actively fulfilling that intention, your energy field will not be synchronized with those people or with that group. When the members of a group differ too much with the amount of personal and multidimensional energy that they wish to contribute to that group endeavor, the group energy field will collapse into the bosses and the employees. In this case, the bosses will tell the employees what to do. However, when you have an active intention group, there are no leaders and no followers. Instead, there is a group of people, in which each person has a strong sense of security about what their contribution is and how their contribution will fit into the group experience. Strong group energy fields are actually created in the higher dimensions of reality. In other words, the group may have been initiated on Earth because they were all from the same ship, and/or the same higher dimensional version of Gaia. Also, the group may have known each other in other incarnations and seem to instantly recognize each other in their physical life. Sometimes, strong groups are initiated in a higher dimension of reality. In fact, within this now, when Gaia is constantly sending her SOS into the higher dimensions, groups of friends and/or comrades, sometimes even family members, are volunteering to take incarnations within the same 3D time and place. However, due to the urgency of the assistance for Gaia's planet Earth, the time it takes for infants to grow to adults, and for all the members of the group to remember their pre-birth contract, is not a reliable means of gathering a strong multidimensional energy field. It is primarily for the above reason that groups that gathered on the fifth dimensional ship or homeworld consciously, or unconsciously, meet on third dimensional Earth and quickly decide to join into a group. The members of that group may often say, "You seem so familiar. Do I know you?" Then the other person may remember that person from the ship, or not remember them. If they do remember, they are faced with the difficult decision of whether or not they want to take the risk to tell them what they remember. Therefore, we the Arcturians recommend that you look at that person's aura to see if it extends beyond the top of their head, then seems to disappear into the higher dimensions. That person may need a few days to decide if they are ready to admit to their true self while they are wearing an earth vessel. We say, wearing an earth vessel, as they, and likely you, are wearing a third and fourth dimensional vessel, which encases their true light body self. Their light body self is usually hidden within the core of the human spinal column. Of course, because the light body resonates to the frequency of the fifth dimension, it can only be perceived by fifth-dimensional perceptions and/or fifth-dimensional equipment. Many of our away team to Earth are fully aware of their simultaneous realities on their fifth-dimensional ship or planet. On the other hand, many of our away team have chosen to not remember until it is the now in which a given situation calls them into active duty. The sudden call into active duty can be quite challenging, as many of them have forgotten their true, multidimensional nature. It can be very challenging for one to totally change their sense of self into a greatly expanded version of what they have known throughout that entire incarnation. The multidimensional ones, who take an earth vessel at birth, rather than walking in later, have the greatest challenge. It is for that reason that many of our volunteers choose to experience what is called on Earth a near-death experience. What occurs during a near-death experience is that the dying one meets their multidimensional self. To make that readjustment of sense of self, these volunteers often have dreams about UFOs landing, or actually perceive a UFO with their 3D vision. Hopefully, the newly awakened, as they often call themselves, wisely seek out information so that they can better understand what is happening to them. It is for this reason that we started our conversation by speaking of different kinds of groups. A group energy field is still a great challenge on 3D Earth, largely because of the indoctrination and propaganda sent out by the lost ones. We, the Arcturians, have spoken many times about the lost ones, the dark ones, and/or the Illuminati. What these titles have in common is that they represent those who do not want Gaia to ascend into her fifth-dimensional expression. Why would they not want to live within the unconditional love and multidimensional light of a fifth-dimensional reality? There is not one answer to that question, but the sweeping answer is that this is the group of beings that do not have a light body within the base of their spinal cord awaiting its flash into the glory and peace of the fifth dimension. They know that they will not return to their innate light body because they sold it. No, they did not sell their light body at a store or garage sale. But the light body is a living being that needs to be fed like all living beings. What does one feed their light body to keep it strong and ready to burst forth into its fifth-dimensional expression? The answer is simple. What one feeds their light body is a balanced meal of unconditional love, service to others, and the violet light of transmutation. The Illuminati did not sell their light body, but they did sell their service to others so that they could gain power over others. The Illuminati threw away their service to others, so they could focus on their service to self. When they lived only by service to self, they lost all connection with the unconditional love, violet fire, and multidimensional light that resonates to the fifth dimension and beyond. Therefore, the lost ones could not even perceive these higher powers, much less be able to steal them. An interesting development is that some of the children of the Illuminati have seen how energy out equals energy back. They have not learned compassion, parental love, or service to others. And, most of them are not from the higher dimension. However, some of our very brave ship members have volunteered to take an Earth vessel within an Illuminati household. Some of them have become lost, but some of them have been able to remember their true self, and retain that connection as they work from inside the darkness to turn on the light. Therefore, we ask you not to blame all the Illuminati, as some of them are higher beings that took the great challenge of infusing their light into the darkness. We remind all of you that you can assist them by sending them violet fire to assist them. This violet fire will serve to transmute the darkness into light. We ask that you, also, send unconditional love for those who have given the great sacrifice of living in the darkness in order to transmute it into light. Your high heart will know who is who, as the high heart cannot lie. When you go into your own high heart, you gain great protection and immense healing. As you open your high heart, you will also find your Atma, which is just above your high heart. Your Atma holds your first 8 cells, as well as your threefold flame of infinite wisdom, multidimensional power, and unconditional love. With your active intention, please go inside your high heart to activate your own wisdom, power, and love. We, the Arcturians, will assist you if you call us. Blessings on the teams that you will create.